All right, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order. Ask for a roll call.
Councilmember Little is absent at this time, but we expect him shortly. Councilmember Sander. Here. Councilmember Pulapati.
Here.
Vice Mayor Budge.
Here.
Mayor Gatewood.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and read the Metro Cable.
The meeting of the Rancho Cordova City Council is recorded with closed captioning. The recording will be cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV Uverse cable systems. The recording will also be video streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting will replay on Thursday, May 7th at 9 a.m. and Friday, May 8th at 6 p.m. on Metro Cable Channel 14. Once posted, the recording of this meeting can be viewed on demand at youtube.com/MetroCable14 and on the city's website at www.cityofranchocordova.org.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and call on our illustrious Diane Rogers to come up and do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then please stay standing for St. John Vianney's invocation.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come before you with gratitude for the gift of this day and those serving in this community. Thank you for our mayor, for the members of the city council, and for leaders blessing upon them as they undertake the world before them, often complex and demanding, yet so important for the well-being of all. Grant them grace to pursue truth, justice, and stability in our region. Where there is uncertainty, bring clarity. Where there is division, bring understanding. Where there is tension, bring peace. Strengthen their resolve to do what is right, even when it is difficult, and to govern with fairness, integrity, and consistency. May our community be known not for discord, but for justice that is steady, compassionate, and enduring. As our leaders meet today, we ask for patience. Patience to listen carefully to one another, patience to consider differing viewpoints, and patience to seek solutions that may require time and humility. Give them perseverance when challenges arise and obstacles seem discouraging. Help them to remain steady in purpose and faithful in the responsibility to serve the public good. Grant them wisdom to discern what is truly beneficial for the city, strength to carry out their duties with diligence, and courage to make decisions that are just and good, even when those decisions are not the easiest path. May they not be swayed by personal interest or pressure, but instead be anchored in what serves the common good. Teach them to put the interests of others before their own, and to lead with a spirit of generosity and responsibility. May their actions be rooted in love for the community they serve, and may that love be reflected in policies and promote dignity, opportunity, and well-being for all citizens. Help them be attentive to the needs of the people they represent, responsive to concerns, and willing to engage with openness and respect. May they see the humanity in every person they serve, and may their leadership foster trust, cooperation, and unity within the city. We ask that you guide this meeting and that all will be discussed today. May every decision be made with wisdom, care, and a sincere desire to do what is right. And may your peace rest upon this gathering and upon this community. Amen.
Amen. Nicely done. Right. Great. No presentations. Moving on. Public comment. Members of the public wishing to address the council for any matter not on the agenda may do so by completing and submitting a speaker card to the city clerk. For items on the agenda, speakers will be called by the mayor at that point of the agenda when item has been heard. Speakers are encouraged to keep comments to 3 minutes or less and state the name and community of residence. Under the provision of the California Government Code, the City Council is prohibited from discussing or taking immediate action on any items not on the agenda unless it can be demonstrated to be of an emergency nature or need to take immediate action arose before the posting of the agenda. Stacy, do we have any public comment?
We do. We have 2 speaker cards. The first speaker will be Helen Whalen-Bashaw. Following Helen will be James Garcia.
Ha! We've missed you too. Get back up here.
You'll have up to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Almost didn't make it here tonight. Good evening. I want to bring it to the attention of the city, but I'm sure you already know it, that the Rancho Cordova has what I consider a person who was immigrated into the United States and has made a successful life for himself, and that is Danny's Automotive. I believe he is the first private service station that we have that has corporate sponsorship. He was sought out by Castro Oil for them to sponsor him at 2 of his service stations. This is a person who, about 9, immigrated to the United States, to Rancho Cordova, went to school in Rancho Cordova, went to trade school, worked at dealerships to learn the behind the scenes for automotive repair, had his first service station open up on Brevard. Then he bought he has a lease to own on the corner of Paseo and Folsom Boulevard, the Danny's Automotive. He also has an automotive in Folsom and in Orangevale. So Chris, the oil company came in and asked him to let them be a corporate sponsorship. This was the first, as far as I can see, in Rancho Cordova, that you have a corporate sponsorship for a little business that only wishes to be able to expand in the current location, but it's not being allowed. Change subjects. I'm here to talk about the PAR, Preserve the American River, part of Sarah. We're in the process of gathering public monies up to $2 million. We have a foundation that's willing to put up the $12.6 million, but we have to pay the cost. Currently, we have about $1 million on hand, and I myself have pledged, and they will get the check this week, a rather large sum of money, 6 figures. So I just want everybody to know I am living what I believe, preservation for future generations, and I've been fighting the battle since 2018 when Kathy Birch and myself showed up at the meeting when Linda was the mayor and the company out of Illinois was putting on a presentation. So, I believe in building internally in this city and preservation for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. James, get up here.
Hi, James Garcia, resident of Stone Creek. I just want to share my disappointment with the council for only having one that was willing to step forward to bring forth the Quick Quack car wash that would have been in Stone Creek. That's now been approved by the Planning Commission on April 8th. I really wish we would have had more than one of you willing to actually bring this forward to be heard. At this point in time, we're now going to have a Quick Quack that's going to be a blight to the community right there on Zinfandel and Bear Hollow. It's an improper location, very egregious traffic flows on a 2-lane road. No additional car lane entrances into the shopping center, so it's just going to be a nice detriment to our area, the safety of all those that walk the area next to handles, as well as to the already existing carpool type of a situation with Dutch Bros. So we have 2 now queuing systems within a shopping center that is next to apartments, and it's just now going to be an eyesore. And hopefully we don't get bad health from it and accidents that are already occurring nearby. So just a little disappointment that no one else decided to step up. So thanks anyways.
All right, let's go into council reports. David.
No report.
David, you dirty talker, you. Siri.
I have to follow council members, Sanders.
You guys are killing it right now. Linda, you better come with something, I guess.
Okay, so we actually have not met for an entire month because of a variety of people being out of town and cap to cap and a lot of scheduling issues. So we've done some very important things. We've broken ground on Mather Veterans Village #4. Community Council entertained the presentation about downtown Cordova. We met about the Community Engagement and Enhancement Fund. We cut a ribbon over at Folsom Lake College to inaugurate a lovely new complex for Sutter Health that will teach healthcare over there at Folsom Lake College. And we met in a very unique, what was called 5x5x5 with the Folsom Cordova Unified School District and the Folsom City Council. RT had a routine meeting, the library had a routine meeting. The highlight of the month really had to be the Rachel Barton Pine concert at Symphony d'Oro. It was absolutely remarkable. And for those of us who went to the reception afterwards, she talked about the importance of her music and how, and this lady's from Chicago, and she felt that every time she performed in the big park in Chicago there on the water, that it was like the entire region could come to hear the benefit of her music. And she really takes her craft seriously, and she's an absolute great lady. I felt kind of funny inviting people to attend an event up in Folsom, but they have decided to bring back their snail races from the 1980s. And I was going to talk about that, but then it turns out that Folsom Cordova Unified is also doing snail races at some of the schools in the school district. So if you haven't been, or you've got little kids, be sure and check check their website for the schedule of schools both here and in Folsom that are going to do this. It's really one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But the most important thing is that we need to adjourn tonight in the memory of David's mom. And that's what David's been doing for the last month. And I couldn't be more sympathetic. David and I have been so blessed this entire journey to have our parents with us. And they were there at the inaugural meeting. They've been there every step of the way, and now they're all gone. And David's mom was a teacher through and through, and one of the most gracious, delightful ladies that we've ever had the privilege of meeting. She graced our meetings. She made her little city and our little city better for having known her. And we want to adjourn tonight in her memory and her honor.
Thank you, Linda.
All right. I hate following you. I hate it. The passion. All right, I'll try to go back up. I met with Amazon, which is awesome. They have 300 more jobs for our community members that are coming in the door. So I'm not supposed to tell you about it, but if you're watching and you want a very highly paid living wage job with tons of training, benefits, it's in Rancho Cordova. They are a great partner, and they are looking at how they can get more gains with the Chamber of Commerce, the Cordova Community Council, and just give back because they want employees. And for someone that needs over 400 plus employees, that is awesome. But that will take them to one of our biggest employers in the area. And so then I said, I required them, I was like, I'm gonna require 30% to be Rancho Cordova. And they laughed. Thank you to Daniel and Lisa DeRosa. They set up a prayer commute, which was fun because I hadn't known how many churches, and there's 14 churches in District 2. And so I actually drove around to each church, and they have you pray over each church you pull into. And so there's actually 26 churches in the area, but 14 I was able to get to in my prayer walk. So you drive there, you hit something on a little app, and it tells you what to pray over, and then you go to the next church. So that was cool. Then I did, which I wasn't ready for, which was the Sunrise bike ride. And so Jacob Ford had all these kids, and we parked somewhere in the Butterfly Park, and then we put all the kids behind us, and then we rode to Sunrise Elementary. And so he wants to get more and more kids to do the very fun bike ride. So that was cool. And then this dad had hooked up a bubbler behind it, and so he hit the bubbles, and the kids were supposed to follow behind, and so you get all these first graders through kindergartners swerving and trying to hit the bubbles, and us dads trying to keep them from dying, but still super fun. And I was like, he's like, his goal is to get like 20% or 30% of the kids out there. And I was like, okay. And then it was nice because I called Micah last minute because they didn't have this planned. And I was like, hey, it'd be really great is if we had a bike cop here to make sure the little babies don't get hit by the car. And Micah's like, let me see what I can do. And then one of my patrols showed up awesomely and was like, hey, I see you guys driving. And so he turns on his lights and just keeps the cars off the little kids. Because these kids, honestly, are going to live forever because they're impervious to pain. So they fell, they kept riding, screamed at each other, jumped each other. It was great. Thank you, Tien Ho, for spotlighting a couple of our citizens at the Outstanding Citizen Award. Thank you to Folsom Lake College inviting me to speak at the Men of Color. It was awesome because, first of all, when you prep a speech for Men of Color and then men and women show up to try to ad-lib your speech by trying to include both of them at the same time, I knocked it out of the park, though. But it was fun, and it was great because 2 buses were full of Folsom Cordova, Rancho Cordova kids that showed up. And this is all to try to talk to them about helping them out and where their next steps are, and to show them that junior college is right around the corner if they really want to take those steps. Thank you to Cap to Cap, the group that set up Cap to Cap, and really, if you guys didn't know, the originator of Cap to Cap is Linda Budge. It was to start and save our airport at one time, and she did go back a couple times and win. And I think the reason she lost is because someone got a cold and they forgot to schedule something and the other. But I think we came back with millions of dollars and people engaged. I've never seen more people engaged in our city's success or know about our city, like across the region. Had the most experience, went to GSEC and went to New York City to pull businesses out of that. Most interesting facts is that if you ask how high on taxes California is across all 50 states, the best was listening to him be like, oh, it's like the worst or we're second worst. I'm like, we're only 25th. Because of inflation and how things have happened, even Austin, Texas, there's no room, there's no housing, the people are hard to get. So Rancho Cordova and the Sacramento County region has become very enticing. And so I would be shocked because the guys we talked to were actually from the area. The best was I went into someplace called Blackstone, and you're wealthy when your ears pop going up to go see his building. And he comes out and he's like, oh, I know Rancho Cordova. He's like, I sold my first building there. And so first off, people they warned me, like, listen, this guy's going to be very aggressive. Like, just be straight to the point. Don't talk to him about things, because he's walked out of meetings. And so the minute they said I'm the mayor of Rancho Cordova, and he turns to me, he's like, oh yeah, I sold, there's a building over off Coloma. That was my first sale. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah. And I was like, did you drink the water when you were there? He's like, yeah. I was like, that's rocket fuel. You're welcome. That's your superpower. And I want to thank you from Rancho Cordova. And he's just started cracking up because he knows the area. And he's like, I just love it there. He's like, I just feel like I can't come home because, you're doing the billionaire tax and you don't want business. And I was like, not every region in California is the same. I was like, why don't you come home, bring some of your businesses with you, set up, and help us guide Rancho Cordova in the next generation. So he's got some technical companies and stuff that he moves and manages, and they're now coming into Rancho Cordova. And it was a great thing because he's like, I'll sign an NDA though. And I was like, you don't need to sign an NDA for us. We we're not scared of people finding out you want to move. He's like, no, we'll do the signing. I was like, cool, we'll send you the super secretest NDA you can figure. I was like, let's go ahead and get this guy an NDA. But I did 15 plus meetings, and I think out of them, I think we pulled like 20 potential partners to come in, including like the consulate of Japan is now going to close the Japan office for like a week and come out here and hunt where they can put businesses. The most interesting one was a guy that does, which I think David would be fascinated by, is they have a machine that can take T cells and create any type of cell you need it to be, and then inject it for therapy. And so it's no man involvement, completely a machine. Takes about 2 weeks to get these T cells. I was like, and then it was fascinating because I don't know anything about this. But then he's like, yeah, but every once in a while the cell will just mutate into something it's not supposed to. So you'll come back and your cell will have a heartbeat. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? So you have heartbeats on your cells? They're like, yeah, and then you have to thruple it. Is that a word? Am I close? No, and it doesn't matter. It's something where you strip out the cell of what it was programmed to be. And I was like, so the cells just sometimes just want to be something? They're like, yeah, and you just gotta, pull it back out again. I was like, so fascinating. I have no way to talk. But anyways, he's really interested. And so they said if they would invest $50 million in wherever they land their next plant. And they have one going into the middle of the United States. They have one on the East Coast. They want one in the middle, and they want one out here. And they're like, we just need to be near, because when they do therapy, they have 30 minutes to finish the therapy and inject it into their person. I was like, that's fascinating. Thank you to Diane for the Embark program and introducing me to mermaids and fairies. And that was an interesting day. It's interesting text messages I got from my friends. Voice of Hope, VOA Voice of Hope, they mentioned that we did like 250 homes with them or helped fix up at one time with the city of Rancho Cordova, come alongside them. I mean, that's amazing that we've helped that many people in our city over our lifetime to help them clean up their backyards, do water resistant, remove gates, help them with things that are like, there's not a lot of cities that come and try to fix up the house because they know that it's going to bring the entire community up. Maybe condemn a house and buy a house, but we'll go into a house that's just in need, help the owner out, and then help the whole community from it. Still going. Then I went to FLC for the Sutter Health ribbon cutting. Coolest thing ever. We now have, Sutter has now partnered with them to do a nursing program. And they have the full dummies and x-ray systems, and they've invested like $2.2 million, and they're not done investing in Rancho Cordova because they see how we're growing, and they think we'd be a great spot for something else. We're not going to talk about it, but it starts with an H and ends with atoll. So hopefully they can be one of those people that comes alongside us. Very exciting. And then lastly, we had our 5x5x5 with the Folsom Cordova School District. Thank you to Jen, wherever you are right now, for trying to help us pick back up our high school out of Sac City, Sac City Unified. And I'm sorry to all those kids. I really wanted to do something. But Folsom Cordova is making heads about doing AI, using technology, helping to reach out our kids. And I really feel like as we are putting pressure on, they're starting to move in the right direction, but they still have a lot of work to do. We want engineering and sciences in the place where NVIDIA and Solidigm are landing, not have our kids try to drive to another city to do that work. But still, good pathways, open up talking, and I think that's it that I can remember of the stuff. But I have been busy literally every 2 days, and I now understand what Siri was talking about. Joe. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so tired. Micah.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things to cover. One is Public Service Recognition Week. So I want to thank all of our city team and that have spent their careers, most of them in public service, all of it. And so we're recognizing team members throughout the week, celebrating Public Service Week. So there's different recognitions taking place to celebrate them and the team that works in this space with all of you. I did go to a few of those different places that the mayor mentioned and the different things, so I won't dwell on those, but really want to mention the Mathers Veterans Village ground, or Phase 4, was a great event and really is the next step in the conversation around what we're doing in the community for our veterans. And then last, wanted to thank the council for letting me participate in American Leadership Forum. So unfortunately, I did miss the 5x5x5 with the school district the other day because I was graduating from the American Leadership Forum program, where we get to build relationships, learn new skills, and leadership theories around basically a group of 24 of my new best friends that are trying to make this region a better place. So really appreciate that. So with that, I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. Let's go on consent vote. Consent calendar items consist of matters deemed routine and non-controversial by staff unless a member of the council wishes to pull an item for individual consideration. All items may be approved with one motion. Are there any that you guys would like to pull? Is there any public comment?
There is no public comment for the
Awesome.
consent calendar.
May I have a motion for the
Seeing
consent?
none, I'll move approval of items 9.1 through 9.4.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Pulapati,
Yes.
Councilmember Sander,
Aye.
Councilmember Little, Vice Mayor Budge,
Yes.
Mayor Gatewood.
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right, moving on to consent calendar, consent public hearing items. Consent public hearing items consist of matters deemed routine and non-controversial by staff unless a member of the council wishes to pull an item for individual consideration. All items will be approved by one motion. I'm going to go ahead and open this public hearing item quietly.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. And ask the clerk, is there any public comment?
Yes, we do have one public comment that was emailed. It is from Bill and Ellen Land that has been distributed to the council, printed for the public in the back of the council chambers, and has been placed on our website.
Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing item. Ask if there's any items the council wishes to pull. All right.
Seeing none, I'll move approval of items 10.1 and 10.2, but I do want to make a comment. The letter that came in was incredibly extensive and very well researched and very well thought out. And I think we can all feel sorry for or feel sympathetic with people who are moving into new areas and the land around them, the adjacent land, is completely bare and wild and has house cows and maybe, if you're lucky, a giant bevo or two. But an awful lot of us have experienced that in the past. I can remember when Franchise Tax Board was a beautiful field of yellow mustard. And so, you know, as we all grow and expand, this is typical. Again, kudos to them because they have used every tool in the planner's toolbook to try to encourage our further review of this project. But I do move approval.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Pulapati,
Yes.
Councilmember Little, Councilmember Sander,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Budge,
Yes.
Mayor Gatewood.
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right. So now we're going to public hearing items. There's none. We're going to regular hearing items. Also none. We're going to council requests for future agenda items. Also seeing none. So we're going to go ahead and adjourn the closed session. And clerk, will you please announce public comment?
We do not have any public comment for items on the closed session.
Excellent.
Recording in progress.